All right, November 17th, 3 games on the NHL schedule here tonight. So we'll get into each of those, break them down, talk about if we have any bets as well. We'll recap last night's picks. But before we do, I want to remind everybody today's show is sponsored by BetStamp. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is by using multiple sports books and always getting the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to help you do so. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, whether it's for games, player props, or futures. You can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. So make sure to download the app today. It is available on iOS, Android, as well as on the web. If you are looking to sign up for a new sportsbook account, please check out the offers available at betstamp.app/edgework. As well, it's available in the link in the description. If you sign up through this link, it does help support the show. All right, let's get into picks from yesterday before we go even further here. So far on the season on the Edgework Show, which you can track, by the way, in the BetStamp app. You can find us in the Find Better section as Edgework HQ. You'll see this year, 69, nice, and 70, 139 bets so far on the season, 4.7% ROI for the Edgework team, having a good start to the season. Just continuing to build off of what we had last year, really. Solid season last year. Let's hope to keep it going throughout the remainder of the season this year. But so money, it's hard to avoid putting yourselves in a good position like this when you have a day like you had yesterday. 4-1 on the best bets given out here on the show. The only one we end up losing is the Islanders game that goes into a shootout there. Can you just run us through yesterday's games? What happened? Why things went so well for us?
Well, to start the day, Russ nailed it with that over in that Detroit Ottawa game. I thought that was a pretty clean look, and it was very stress-free on that over. So great job to Russ there for starting us off. Sens got off to a great start. It was aided along by some poor goaltending there by Detroit. But even in the win, it was still a little bit annoying for me because I tend to win one overtime game a month, right? And and we wasted that overtime win in a situation where the team we bet on was up 4-0, right? So, and then of course we go to the Islanders game. There was no doubt that we're going to lose that game in OT, right? So, yeah. So, I tend to get involved in a lot of overtime games, and I tend to lose a lot of overtime games. So, I've been waiting 4 years for to try to get that back to 50%, and we're nowhere near 50% right now. So that's tough to handle. And then we had the Kings, which was I thought that was a clean look. They were solid. They played their game. They played their defensive game, and they were opportunistic. So I really like that Kings play, and Russ nailed it with the Penguins over as well. So yeah, I thought that it was a nice day. The Islanders getting some overtime luck would have been nice, but you know what? If you tell me that you're gonna have me go 4-1 or have us go 4-1, I'll take that every day, and the Islanders can go to hell.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I was sitting there like making up these graphics and stuff to go out, or like videos to go out of with So Money's face on these different videos, so that I could tweet out this morning like So Money dancing into the Edgework Show after a 5-0 day, and then it's like the Islanders losing a shootout. I'm like, all right, well, this is down the road. Like, at least save these for later. Right. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm at Alber 0-8 in shootouts this year. Happens. But boys, Kings Thursdays, Kings Tuesdays. We might have stole that from the Tuesday boys. Alex, did you get to watch last night's games?
I did, and maybe it's probably a bad time to bring up that I actually won some money because of the Islanders Kraken game going to overtime. I had to draw in that one, so I
Okay.
don't mind overtimes these days because usually that means I'm cashing in a ticket and then I'm just hoping for the best moving forward. But it happens in all sports. That I've known cappers that go back years and years who say that they've lost in overtime in virtually every sport they bet in. So there's just it is luck of the draw when you get to that point, honest, obviously. So you'll have those swings going your way, and you'll have those swings going against you. But a lot of good action last night for sure, and that game was quite exciting. And the Islanders, it's weird now seeing them being this team where there's actually goals involved in their games. Usually, when they want to play the hockey they want to play, they're winning 2-1, 1-0, and it's boring. When they're getting crushed, that's when the games are actually exciting. It's 4-3 with like 12 rounds of a shootout. So it's kind of better when the Islanders aren't playing well, in my opinion.
I don't I don't mind overtime, right? It's just that when I retire, I will open up my books and we'll see how much under 50% I am. Right? Like
Yeah,
theoretically
yeah,
when
yeah,
you get to overtime,
yeah.
it should be a coin flip. You should be hitting
Hmm.
50% long term in overtime. But I'm not talking just 1 or 2 years. Like we're going back years and years where
Right,
I just can't win an overtime game. So one day I will open up my books, but that's going to be a discussion for another time.
right.
Fair enough. All right. Well, there you go. There's our recap of yesterday's games. Our 4-1 night. If you do want to track all the picks, you can find those over on the BetStamp app. Find better section as Edgework HQ. Stay up to date with all of the picks that are given out throughout the course of the season, whether it's in real time as the games are about to kick off, or if you're trying to look back on them and see how we've done throughout the week, month, season so far. You can find it all in there. Break it down, player prop sides, totals, however you want to do so. BetStamp helps you do that. Make sure you're getting the best analysis of the picks that we've given out so far on the season here. Now, let's get into the games today. We've only got 3, so if people have questions in the chat, please make sure to fire them in there. On top of that, I am going to continue to ask to do this, and until you get us there, then I'm going to keep asking. So help us get there, and then I can stop asking. We're looking for 2,000 subscribers here on the Edgework Show. You want watch alongs, you want more video content, that kind of stuff? 2,000 subscribers. That'll help us continue to do more content. But we got to see that number pop up. So hit that like button, share it with a friend. If you know people who want more hockey content, want hockey picks, whatever it is, send them this show. Send them the link to the stream today. Send them the link to the channel. Whatever the easiest way to do it is. But subscribe here. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers. 3 games ahead of us on the schedule here tonight, boys. We've got the Leafs taking on the Red Wings over in Sweden at 2 p.m. The Sabres against the Winnipeg Jets in Winnipeg at 8. And then finally, to close off the night, the Florida Panthers on the road against the Anaheim Ducks at 10 p.m. Let's start with the afternoon game. Yesterday, actually, by the way, no pressure on you guys, but we go 2-0 in the afternoon game. Start people off with their days right there. Sens money line, we get the over in that one. But today we're looking at this Leafs team on the road here, technically against the Red Wings. Detroit plus 165, the Leafs minus 165 in this one. Best prices available if you're looking across. So there you go. Perfect example of why you should line shop. A total currently sitting at 7 in this one here today. So, Money, go to you first for your thoughts between the Leafs and the Red Wings, and if there's any way at all you might want to try to bet on this one.
Well, the Leafs are they are generating offense. They are creating chances the last few games. So, and we know that Detroit they don't have the best goaltending right now. Alex Lyon is going to start now. He was good last season, right? So there is some he does have some he does have some history there. So um, the thing that I see with this game is that I do see both teams playing with pace here. The over 6.5 getting into the minus 130s is tough to handle there for me. But I do like the significant plus money on the 7. I think that if we can get into the plus 115 range onto the sevens, I think that yeah, there we go. We do see it there. So yeah, I wouldn't be interested um, in going over 6.5 into the 130s, but 7 at that good money at that good plus money is the way that I would be looking at this game. So I'd be good for a half unit on that over 7.
There you go. Over 7, half unit plus 117. We'll lock that one in here. As these other books, you can see them on the screen here. 130, 135, 40, pushing up 150. You'd imagine they're going to start to spill over into the sevens there as well. So for people watching later in the day, hopefully these numbers become more readily available for you out there as well. Or if you're just looking through your book, these numbers might be there as well. But locking this one in, especially because it is at Pinnacle. Alex, any thoughts for you in this game, this 2 p.m. game today?
Yeah, I would be inclined to look at the over too. I mean, you saw, what happened yesterday, where Detroit, had this terrible start, but then they're able to get their legs back once they kind of settle in the second period, tie the game up, and maybe we see something like that, kind of a flip flop today, where Toronto's the team playing their first game, Detroit playing yesterday. It could be a bit more settled in already, where Toronto is the team that's kind of trying to get used to the ice, get acclimated to the sight lines and things in the early in the contest. So I would probably maybe take an approach to look at both teams to score in the first period. And then if we see things kind of settle down, maybe we see that number drop. Maybe it's 1-1 after 20 minutes. And now we see that number drop down to 6.5 at even money. Or maybe, it's scoreless 4 or 5 minutes in the second period. Now we can get a 5.5 laying the price rather than dealing with the 6.5s and 7. So you could take that approach, or you could just go on and like I say, grab a 7 now at plus money. But yeah, definitely wouldn't be looking at taking 6.5 in those 135, 140 ranges.
Well, I'll throw this out to you guys. And so, Money, I know you answered it yesterday, so maybe you could just touch on it based on what we've seen in the game yesterday and the fact that we did get that over. But Matthew was the one who asked the question there yesterday as well, coming back today, kind of circling back on it. Do you anticipate the breakneck pace and high scoring that we saw in Ottawa, Detroit yesterday to continue in Sweden? Product of venue or just those two teams? I mean, you obviously can't look at one game here and say this is what it is. This is how it's going to be every time that they play over in Sweden, because there was some thought that, hey, maybe on some of the slower or on the bigger ice, the pace might be slowed down from a goal scoring perspective. And then the very first game, it's just goals galore, and we cashed the over essentially with no problem. But does that change any perspective, or is this still, like, I know yesterday so many a little bit you even touched on, or just kind of business as usual? You're just kind of breaking things down using your model like you normally would for these teams.
Yeah, yesterday's game didn't change anything for me. It was just one game, and when we saw some poor goaltending on both sides, we saw um, portions of that game where they were playing at a frenetic pace. So I
Mm.
think I think it comes down to the teams involved. Detroit, especially when they do get down, they do tend to pick up the pace, and it's very likely that they will be down just based on the odds and like the way that these teams play. It's
Mm.
very likely that that they will go down in this game at some point. So that's when I would expect the pace to pick up. So I think it's dependent on the teams as well. If if like the Blues were playing in Sweden right now, like that would be a different look for me, right? So,
Yeah.
like, again, it's just one game. It's business as usual. I don't know how much of yesterday's game was predicated on the ice and like the dimensions of the ice, and that's not something that I think that we can make a determination on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's team dependent and it's business as usual still.
Alex,
I mean,
has the overseas games or the size of the ice changed your viewpoint on it at all?
not too much, but if we see another game that goes up and down and has the same pace today like we did yesterday, then we have to kind of really start looking at things. And then, of course, like I said, now we're talking about changing teams because we throw other team in now with Minnesota for the games on Saturday and Sunday. And if you're talking about bad defensive numbers right now, at least here in North America so far, the Wild have been awful. So maybe they bring that overseas, and now we start looking at these higher numbers. Maybe these sevens turn to 7.5s potentially, or maybe we can get some value with Minnesota going against Ottawa, a team that maybe is a little bit more streakier offensively than say a Toronto, a team that could easily put 10 goals on anybody when they feel like it. So that it hasn't changed anything one way or the other hard fast, but it's definitely something I'm going to be looking at in regards to today's game and for Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Well, moving on second game on the schedule here tonight to take a look at the Buffalo Sabres into Winnipeg, taking on the Jets. The Jets currently sitting minus 174. Now, we know that Buffalo suffers a massive loss to the team the other day with Tage Thompson expected to be out for a few weeks, possibly month plus there, as the Sabres were releasing. Now you see Buffalo plus 160, a total of 6.5 for tonight's game. Alex, can you get any kind of read on this game, where the market's at right now? Any thoughts for you heading into this one?
I mean, Buffalo, obviously, you looking for that next man up mentality now with Tage Thompson out long term with that broken wrist. But, at the same time, you needed that next man up mentality from everybody. This team has been mightily underachieving in my eyes right now. And I think this is I thought this was a Buffalo team that was going to be really playing better hockey than they are at this current time. Now you're taking on a Winnipeg team that's been going through their ups and downs. They look good overall, but they, had internal kind of rallying with Rick Bowness being away from the team. I think this is a spot here where I'd be more inclined to look toward the Winnipeg side and Buffalo side. I'm not really comfortable with this price. Looking at dollars, almost $1.80, $1.85 probably at some point with this Winnipeg spot. Even in regulation, I don't trust it, so it's going to be a pass for me.
All right, fair enough. So money, I know this morning you said today's slate was gross. Any involvement for you here?
Well, Buffalo is starting to get to a market low here, which is generally when I would be looking at betting the team. But I think I have some questions about how they play without Tage there. So I think I'm going to need some time there, because obviously he's a big loss, and you can't just use the previous numbers that you have with Buffalo with him on the team, right? So I do need to see how they play out with him out of the lineup. Also, Hellebuck will probably get the start. They are on a back-to-back, so it makes sense for them to go Hellebuck today, Pizzola tomorrow, and then they'll have five. I think they have a few days in between there. So, I think that it's fair. I would have liked Buffalo, but I just need more time with them to see how they how they respond. Alex Tuck is another one to keep an eye on. He is practicing. He's game time. Obviously, if he is in, he's going to help them. But again, I just need more time with the Sabres right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we're not going to force picks here. That's something we've held ourselves true to the entire time we've done the Edgework show. You don't have something, we're not going to give it out for the sake of giving it out. I mean, you get 5 picks yesterday, go 4-1, but 3 games on the schedule today makes it a little bit tougher. Now, final game on the schedule here tonight that we'll look at before we kind of do a little bit of a preview of this weekend's games. The Anaheim Ducks at home, taking on the Florida Panthers. Anaheim plus 155 right now. The Florida Panthers, best price available, minus 165. A total currently sitting at 6.5. Alex, I know that there was something you were looking for in this game, potential angle, but has it come to fruition? Are you going to be betting on this game at all?
No, it had to come to fruition. I'm still waiting for the confirmation, but we could be seeing Anthony Stolarz going in net for the Florida Panthers, going up against his old team and the Anaheim Ducks, team that he spent 4 years with, had some fairly good numbers the last couple seasons that he was there with the Ducks organization. And now you're seeing Anaheim turning things around, but Florida's been playing great, and here's the thing. It's a team that we kind of thought maybe would struggle having that Stanley Cup losing hangover, missing Aaron Ekblad and Brandon Montour. Both those guys will be coming back pretty soon, and this team has weathered the storm without them. So Florida might be gaining some confidence and some momentum. If he is starting, I might be looking at Florida here in regulation potentially, but I got to wait for the confirmation.
Yeah, fair enough. So many. Anything for you here between the Panthers and the Ducks?
Yeah, I feel like Matt Russell here looking at the Ducks at these
Oh no.
these disgusting numbers, but I'm not gonna play it just because it's really really close to my threshold right now. I would need the Ducks at plus 159.
Okay.
Where are we there? Yeah, so it's
155.
it's close, but we're not there yet. So and we could get there. So if we do get there, I will be forced to play the Ducks, and I'll be messaging Matt as well. But for now, I think we'll be passing, and I just really hope I don't have to get involved here. I kind of want a chill night, so I don't want to worry about about the Anaheim Mighty Ducks or the Anaheim Ducks on tonight while I'm trying to have a chill night for tomorrow. So we'll see.
Makes sense. Well, all right. There you go. One pick for today's 3 games, and you get that in the afternoon. So maybe we win that one, and then you start to look on. Maybe you find some player props or some live opportunities later on in tonight's games. But we'll tee you up with the one game before we go in and recap that one, guys. We do it throughout the week where we ask if there's any other games on the schedule that you might be looking forward to get involved in throughout the day on those games, ones that we maybe didn't touch on or you didn't have best bets in. But obviously here today, only the 3 games. That's not going to be an opportunity. So looking ahead to this weekend a little bit, so Money, we'll start with you. Is there anything out there that you're sitting here saying, hey, that's going to be the game I'm going to be looking forward to, or these are the games I want to watch, or even on top of that, there's ones you're hoping to be able to bet on, but you're just going to be waiting for certain numbers to pop up once the market becomes a little bit more liquid?
Yeah, so another reason why I don't want to bet the Ducks game tonight and I want to chill night is because I want to focus on tomorrow's schedule, which is very good. It's a it's a very juicy schedule tomorrow. There's a few games I'm looking at. The Edmonton Tampa Bay game. That's one that stands out to me just because where I have both these teams profiling as right now. If the Oilers are starting to turn it around, if they're for real, I think that they go into Tampa Bay and take care of business. However, the Lightning, I want to see how they're priced, and if they are priced at a market low, which means that I might want to buy them as well. So so that's a fascinating game for me. The Pittsburgh Carolina game as well. Penguins are on a run right now, but I do see some deficiency still with them. Whereas Carolina kind of scuffles back and forth here. They've had an uncharacteristically slow start defensively, so that's another game where I want to see where it's priced at. Of course, Rangers Devils are banged up a bit, but Rangers, I think that I'm not betting against the Rangers, so I just want to see where it's priced. I don't want the Rangers to ruin my Saturday night again. And then we have and the Seattle Canucks game, of course. Seattle. Again, I'm still low on them. I'm not impressed with a overtime or shootout win against the Islanders. They don't impress me. I just want to see where the Canucks are priced. And I'm curious to see if we get into the minus 160s here with the Canucks at home in a divisional game, which is nice to see. It's nice to see the Canucks being priced like this again. So, yeah. So those and then there's Colorado Dallas as well. So it's a great schedule tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. I just want to spend some time on that and dig into that schedule.
Yeah, so tomorrow's a big day for you. That makes sense. But I mean, Alex, are you kind of looking at maybe the same volume of day or quality of day as So Money is here?
I mean, maybe not volume necessarily. Like I said, big Saturdays, I tend to take it easy and really try to, prime down and pick spots. Like I said, it's a great matchup. Probably arguably the best day of games throughout the whole week. This week hasn't been the best matchups, but I think tomorrow is fantastic, especially just even if you're a viewer, but even for a better, I think there's a lot of good edges that we can find tomorrow. So, and it's gonna be a long day. It starts for me at 10 a.m. Central, going all the way until midnight with that the early Sweden game. So it'll be a lot of fun. Sure.
All right. Well, hopefully people enjoy the games here today. The only 3 on the schedule, but we do have the one best bet. That best bet will come in the 2 o'clock slate, and that will be between the Leafs and Red Wings. We're taking the over 7 plus 117 for a half unit there. That is the one and only pick for today's games. The Leafs, Red Wings, over 7 plus 117 for a half unit in that one. So that is our one and only best bet. Now, if you are looking for best bets for tomorrow's game, So Money teased it there, the big schedule, the good games for tomorrow, and you want to know what the Edgework team is betting, you can check it out right there above myself there. Edgework HQ on Twitter. Make sure to give us a follow. You'll see Saturday mornings before 1 o'clock. Oh, God, I guess there's games going off earlier. Am I going to have to be 11? Okay, well, if there's games in the if we're giving out picks in the 11 o'clock game, then I'll get it ready earlier if that's the case. But if not, then before the 1 o'clock games, we'll be sending out a tweet with our full list of best bets from all the Edgework creators. Those will also be tracked in the BetStamp app as well. So Follow us on Betstamp. Follow us on Twitter. But yeah.
I might make sure that I've got to play in that first game now.
I know. I was like, as I was saying, I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have said something because now I'm gonna get like Moretto's gonna send one and be like, he's gonna be looking at stuff in the 11. Alber's gonna be looking at stuff in the 11. So money, like everyone's going to send stuff for the 11 o'clock game just to fuck with me tomorrow morning when I'm normally sending these out at like 12. yeah. Which it's not like it's that big of a problem. It's just it's gonna be like 2 hours earlier because
It's just fun to create the minor inconveniences for people in life.
yeah, that's all it is. It's just like this tiny little one that I'm gonna be like, oh man, all right, whatever. It is what it is. But follow us on Twitter, follow us on Betstamp. Check all the Betstamp games that we track in Betstamp. You can see the tweets that go out tomorrow on the Edgework HQ, and as well, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here. Now, final reminder that I will give to people before we head out of here. Lots of content on the schedule here today. Coming up at 11:30 over on the board NBA. Picks, previews, same game parlays, all that kind of stuff in the NBA. Those boys over there on the board, you think we're running hot? They're running hot right now with their player props that they've been giving out. Pips NBA, Jacob Grimenia absolutely crushing it to start this season. Then 1 o'clock, the Hammer HQ. I think this week is Moretto's matchup. So if you want an opportunity to watch Moretto go head-to-head and doing some trivia, Sports IQ Showdown trivia, head over there to the Hammer HQ at 1 o'clock. New video dropping today. Believe today is his day where his matchup comes out. So check that one out. Forward Progress, 2 p.m. As always, player props, TD scores for this weekend. NFL betting coming up there. And then finally, 5 p.m. Eastern time over on Hit the Books. Joey Knish, Brad Powers, closing out the week with college football picks for this weekend. So lots of action going on here today across the Hammer for everything. Appreciate the support from everyone, as Fries is saying. As always, thanks for the stream. Let's get those subs to 2K correct. Thank you, Fries. Do appreciate that. Hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel. Everyone, enjoy your days. Thank you for coming out here to watch Alex B. So Money. Thank you very much for the time. As always, we do appreciate it. Enjoy the games today, tonight. Good luck on your bets. Good luck on your bets this weekend. Let's have a day.